Rice is the essential food for daily Japanese meals. This means that the main Japanese agricultural focus is rice cultivation. Therefore, Japanese farmers devote themselves to produce as delicious a rice as possible within a limited area of land. It is said that Japanese rice plants came from the eastern part of India. Therefore, rice plants are originally suited to hot weather. However, there are 4 seasons in Japan. Also, the average temperatures throughout the country vary widely. As a result, great efforts for selective breeding of rice plants have been performed for many years in order to produce rice plants throughout Japan. We cannot show you specifically the exact work of each month for rice cultivation. Here we will introduce the raising methods from a basic aspect. Cherry blossoms are representative of Japanese flowers in spring. In Japan, everything begins in this season, spring. A new year of rice cultivation starts too. Recently, it is said that water control is important to raise strong rice plants. Therefore, the strongly built high dike is necessary. Building up the dike is hard work, but it is easy to do with this machine. Tilling is the way to make a proper rice field. These Yanmar tractors are tilling. Weeding the dike is important work. For watering the rice field, it is necessary that the dike is covered with a vinyl sheet in order to prevent water leakage. The rice field is fertilized with what we call motogoe. Motogoe is fertilizer to nurture rice plants initially. Motogoe is mixed with necessary nutrients for each rice variety. Its basic ingredients are potash, nitrogen, and phosphoric acid. In early May, rice fields are irrigated in preparation for transplanting. Irrigating, water absorbs into the soil for several days, and then puddling is performed. By puddling, we mean a retilling of the water-permeated soil. Recently, an irrigation system is well supplied in many areas, so puddling must be performed within a set period of time of irrigation. Puddling is done on only the surface of the soil, and it should be even. Please do not do over-puddling. Puddling prepares the soil for the transplanting of rice seedlings and keeps water well in the rice field. After puddling, the rice transplanting begins. Farmers transplanted seedlings one by one in the rice field by hand in old times. However, machine transplanters have come into wide use in recent years so that farmers can transplant easily. In Japan, we do not sow seeds in the rice field directly in order to raise rice. Instead, we transplant seedlings which have been nurtured first. It is necessary to make a proper seedling for the transplanter, as you can see. Seedlings are raised in the seedling box. Let's explain about the processes of raising a seedling in Japanese conditions. About 1 month before transplanting, in order to select better seeds, the specific gravity selection using salt water is performed. Better paddy seed has high specific gravity, which results in a full grain of rice in each hull. Consequently, bad paddy seed has low specific gravity and results in underdeveloped grains. We can see the specific gravity of the salt water using a fresh egg. We adjust how much salt we use by the condition of the floating egg. The specific gravity of the solution should measure 1.13 for non-glutinous rice or our regular rice. After selecting seeds, seeds should be washed with fresh water in order to remove salt. The paddy seeds are dipped into water containing sterilizer for 1 day in order to kill any pathogenic bacteria on their surface. The pre-germinated seeds should be soaked in water for 4 to 5 days in order to quicken germination. Those seeds are soaked in warm water at a temperature of 30 degrees centigrade for 1 day, so that they will sprout all at once. This is the best condition for germination. The next step is sowing. This machine sows the seeds automatically into the seedling box. A sheet of newspaper is placed at the bottom of the seedling box, and soil is placed on top of that. Yanmar compost, which has been well sterilized, is used. Sprinkling on the soil should be adjusted evenly by the device installed in the seeding machine. The amount of sowing is done automatically. Before sowing with the machine, we should remove the awns and pedicels in order to sow evenly. It is easy for you to work using the machine for removing awns and pedicels. Finally, the seedling box is covered with the soil automatically. Nowadays, this machine has come into wide use among farmers. After finishing sowing, the seedlings in the seedling box are moved to the seedling bed to be raised until they become the proper size for transplanting. Depending on different temperatures, there are 2 methods to raise seedlings. One is to use a nursing incubator. The other is where seedling boxes are put on the seedling bed. This scene shows the latter method finished completely. A few days before the sowing work, The seedling bed is watered and placed evenly. Seedling boxes are taken outside and placed close to each other on the seedling bed. Then the seedling boxes are covered with a special vinyl sheet to maintain the temperature and moisture levels so that the rate of growth can be even. This method is called a flat covering. The field is netted to keep birds away. This method is called a tunnel covering. Meanwhile, the nursing incubator is used in cold areas or in early spring in order to assure the sprouting of seeds. It is easy to take care of seedlings even after germination by using the nursing incubator. Seedlings are raised in a maintained warm condition in the seed bed of the greenhouse. The nursing period is around 20 days for young seedlings and around 35 days for medium seedlings. Rice transplanting is when seedlings are transplanted into the rice field. The size of seedlings for transplanting have traditionally been young and medium, as mentioned above. But in recent years, baby seedlings have also been transplanted. Depending on the time, place, and conditions, we can select which size seedling is best suited for that area. The rice transplanting is performed from May to June, again, determined by the same said conditions. Let's show you an example of rice transplanting with various machines. The latest style of a ride-on transplanter has been installed with a fertilizing device and chemicals sprayer. This machine saves us a lot of time and labor, such as fertilizing and spraying with weed killer. We should spray weed killer immediately after transplanting seedlings if the machine mentioned above is not used. After transplanting seedlings in the rice field, they take root for 5 to 7 days and then grow. Rice plants root and then absorb nutriment while simultaneously supporting the stems firmly. Therefore, it is necessary to control water carefully in order to make the best condition for raising roots. Drainage troughs dug into the ground help improve water control. The purpose of this work is to remove water from the rice field, dry up the soil, and then create small cracks in order to put oxygen into the soil. One rooted stalk needs around 20 stems, which take almost 1 month to produce. After having about 20 stems, while the temperature is getting hotter, organic substances in the soil ferment and make gas. Therefore, water is removed from the rice field for a week in order to dry up, take out that gas, and put oxygen back into the soil. This stage we call nakaboshi, or intermediate dry. While the temperature is going up, harmful insects and germs are active in this season. An agricultural chemical is sprayed in order to reduce them. Pest control is performed several times during the raising of rice plants. When rice plants come into bud, they need nutrients. Therefore, a fertilizer is given to them. Ears fully grow and emerge from their sheath and start flowering from the top of the rice plant. Ears open day by day. They finish opening within 10 days. After pollination, ears grow ripe. It takes 40 to 50 days from the point of pollination to completed rice. Water is removed from the rice field to harden the soil before harvest in order to use harvesters on the rice field. The best reaping period is when 90% of the ears turn a golden color and the base area is still slightly green. The harvest is the welcome moment when farmers' efforts bear fruit after half a year of hard work. Let's show you the reaping work with various Yanmar combines. The moisture content rate of rice after reaping is about 20 to 25%. The most delicious rice has a rate of 15 to 16% moisture content. Therefore, it is dried until the water content rate reaches the proper number. After being dried, the unhulled rice is put into a rotary huller, which hulls, removes chaff and aborted grain, and produces only unpolished brown rice. This is the rice center. Some farmers bring their rice plants after harvest to the rice center in order to dry them and produce brown rice cooperatively. These are the newest Yanmar computer-controlled rice treatment plants. The plant can treat quickly high-quality rice with high efficiency. This is the small-sized rice polisher, which farmers use to polish rice for their own homes. They can easily polish the required amount of rice which is necessary. Now the rice for daily Japanese consumption is ready, as you can see. This has been our introduction of the process of making rice. We hope you could understand it. Japanese rice planting is performed in a limited area, so in order to produce the best tasting rice, various knowledge has been condensed into the rice plant. Japanese farmers believe that they should never waste even 1 grain of rice due to their love and devotion to rice. But because of the hard labor involved, they try to simplify their work. Therefore, they shift manpower to machines whenever possible. And they promote a rice cultivation which is gentle to humans. For the purpose of helping the users of the Yanmar rice transplanter to understand the basic operation of the machine. The contents of this video are as follows. Prior to work, we need to plan how to proceed planting efficiently, considering the shape and size of the land. Now take a look at the animation describing the outline of planting with the machine. We start leaving a space the length of the machine, which is approximately 8 rows wide, in the bordering margin of the land. In approaching the end of the row, stop just before the bumper reaches the ridge and make a turn. From the second trip, see to it that the rows are in order and regular intervals are kept. Now we have 2 more trips to go. Let's see how many rows we ought to plant. When a 10-row space is left, we just plant 5 rows twice. But we need to make an adjustment in cases like this. In this case, as an 8-row space is left, we first plant 3 rows here. Then we move to the horizontal space. There is an 8-row space here. So first plant 3 rows from the ridge side. Then complete the area with the last 5 rows. Then go back to the remaining 5-row space and finish them. As for the rest of the land, since we have only 1 exit off this land, travel to the exit area, take a turn, and plant 3 rows on the ridge side. Then complete the last 5 rows. Before planting, start the engine, set the main shift lever at neutral and the super shift lever to low, and keep the engine idling. Then, without pressing the main clutch, set the feed pitch. In this example, we set the feed pitch at 70. Next, set the lateral feed lever at 20 times. With the planting unit at the highest position, put the plant clutch lever at plant, and the seedling rack will start moving horizontally. When it comes to the left end, the number of times of feeding is set. Now for the loading of the seedling mats onto the rack. At first, with the rack in the right or left end position, once the feeding belt has started working, release the lever like this. Loading seedling mats in this state is important for transferring all the seedlings on the rack in a regular order. Otherwise, the seedlings won't be released smoothly, and a lump of seedlings caught in the transfer device may cause trouble. Take out the seedling mats from their nursery boxes and board them slowly on the seedling rack and the spare seedling rack. If you put down the mats roughly, the edges of them will lift up like this and will prevent a smooth transfer. After loading, adjust the height of the mat support rod by pulling the lever. The normal position of the mat support rod is 1 to 1.5 centimeters from the surface of the seedling mats. Then set the vertical feed amount adjust lever at medium, the planting depth adjust lever at 4, and the hydraulic adjust lever at 3, which are the standard positions. Now the machine is ready to start transplanting. When entering the field, make sure that the left and right brake pedals are connected. Set the main shift lever at plant 1. Start the engine at the lowest speed and approach the ridge at right angles. When entering a field with an elevated ridge, be sure to use gangplanks. Move into starting position and lower the planting unit. At first, fold down the side markers. Detach the line markers from the hooks. And release the brake pedal connector. Then put on the monitor switch and the planting depth control switch, and check if the planting depth control switch lamp is lit. If you have a UFO unit, turn the UFO switch on. Press the planting clutch pedal, set the main shift lever at plant 1 and the super shift lever at low. Then move the planting clutch lever to plant position. Fold down the right line marker and slowly release the main clutch pedal to start. After planting 4 to 5 meters, stop the operation and check your work. Be sure to check plant depth, quantity of the seedlings per clump, clump intervals, and hydraulic sensitivity. In this case, it seems each clump has been planted too deeply, and there are too many seedlings per clump. When adjusting the planting depth, be sure to lift the planting unit. Move the planting depth adjust lever to a shallower level and reset the seedling adjust lever to reduce the quantity. Then, lower the planting unit again and resume planting. Now it looks good. Now we are approaching a ridge. We need to make a safe turn. Let's take a close look at each step. Just before the bumper hits the ridge, stop the machine by pressing the main clutch. Next, put the main shift lever at reverse, and the planting unit will lift up automatically. Then, slowly release the main clutch to back the machine to a position where a turn can be easily made. Set the main shift lever at plant 1 position, turning the steering wheel and pressing the brake pedal of the turning direction. Let's review it. Stop near the ridge, put the main shift lever at reverse, and back up. Then, set the main shift lever at plant 1 and turn the wheel, pressing 1 brake pedal. When you complete turning, put the planting clutch lever at low and lower the planting unit. Then fold down the line marker to continue planting. Turning in poor form may cause too narrow or too wide intervals and irregular planting. So be sure to follow this procedure carefully. Once you have become used to operating the machine, you may try the advanced method to make a turn. In approaching a ridge, put the planting clutch lever at up to lift the planting unit and turn the steering wheel. This way can save the time used to back up the machine. However, irregular planting caused by a poor turn will increase the handwork and lower the efficiency. So try the advanced method only after you have mastered the basic operation. To keep regular intervals between adjacent rows, the side marker is right above the adjacent row and that the center marker matches the line drawn by the line marker. In order to keep planting straight, find a distant guide mark to follow. In this case, the pole in the center would be a good guide. When the seedling mats on the seedling rack are all used, the seedling request buzzer sounds and the warning lamp lights to indicate which lanes demand supplement. In such a case, press the buzzer stop switch, reduce the engine speed, and put the super shift lever at seedling feed position without hitting the main clutch. Now all the operations stop and you can begin replenishing work. Please notice you need to replenish seedlings only when the remaining ones are below the level of the seedling alert mark. After replenishing them has been completed, set the main shift lever to low without hitting the main clutch, and you can resume planting. We've run out of seedling mats on the spare seedling rack, so let's supply some. Be careful not to damage the seedlings. Place the seedling mats from the top to the bottom. Put the handle side of the seedling plate in front, and you can easily take seedlings from the driver's seat. Now we have 2 more trips to go. We need to check how many more rows we have in the rest of the land by using the line marker. As the length of the line marker is equivalent to a 3-row length, it is easy to estimate how many rows there are up to the ridge. In this case, a 3-row space is left. So we plant only the 3 rows on the left by releasing the unit clutch lever to compensate for the 2 rows on the right. An 8-row space is left, so at first, plant 3 rows on the ridge side, letting in the unit clutch for the 3 rows on the right, and releasing it for the left 2 rows. If you make a 180-degree turn here at one time, the machine may overlap the planted land. Therefore, direct the front wheels in between the planted seedlings and turn 90 degrees by using the reverse gear and move the planting unit to the ridge. Then pull back the unit clutch and plant 5 rows from the ridge side. And 5 rows here. Now we have 1 more narrow space in the front. As we have only 1 exit, we need to move the machine to start planting from the exit side. At this time, lower the planting unit and use it to level the ground. Then we plant 3 rows on the border side as we've done before. Take a good look at turning the corner here. Finally, this is the final trip to plant the last 5 rows. As you see, 3 small portions of land are left where the machine cannot cover, and hand planting is necessary. Before moving out of the field, be sure to remove the remaining seedlings. Lift the planting unit up to the highest position. Put the hydraulic stop lever at the stop position. Connect the left and the right pedals. Set the main shift lever at plant 1 and the super shift lever at low, and cross the ridge at right angles. When crossing an elevated ridge, use gangplanks or travel in reverse. Be sure to use gangplanks of sufficient size and strength, which fit the position of the wheels. Put the main shift lever at reverse and use the slowest speed. After loading, leave the levers at the current positions. Turn off the engine, and don't forget to apply the parking brake. Lastly, put a rope through the rope hook to secure the machine for safety's sake. That is all for the outline of the operation of the Yanmar rice transplanter. We hope that this instruction video will help you better understand the correct and efficient operation of the machine to make the most use of its capabilities.